Adwa TV, bringing good things to life.
Hello there, good morning, and thanks for joining us on today's news bulletin. This is the AM News coming to you live from our studios at the John Evans Theatre Mills High Street in Accra. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Edward TV Ghana, YouTube at Edward TV GH, and around the world at edwardnewsonline.com. My name is Jonathan Armah. Now, coming up in this bulletin, following the conflict regarding Ukraine and Russia, Ghanaian students in Ukraine have assured relatives here in Ghana that they would stay calm and return home safely. Also pertaining to the Russia and Ukraine conflict, parliamentarians have called for the return of Ghanaian students living in the Ukraine. Also in this bulletin, Speaker has dismissed claims that Adwa Safo's absence from Parliament, that he hasn't given Adwa Safo any permission to go out of Parliament. Details to that and more right to the news bulletin. To stay. Thanks for staying with us. Remember, this is your hub of comprehensive and compendous news. My name is Jonathan Armah. Now to our very first story. Ghanaian students in Ukraine have sent messages of hope to their relatives in Ghana, assuring them of returning to Ghana safely as they entrust in government to help them achieve that. In an interview with Adwa TV's Isaac Otu, the president of the National Union of Ghanaian Students Chernihiv chapter in Ukraine, Nana Ajiman Kwache, he said although they are safe in the interim, they are appealing to the government of Ghana to swiftly intervene to ensure they are evacuated from the country due to the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
I don't think I can use the word safe. For now, I'm having a conducive environment to grant this interview, and I don't know what's going to happen next in the next minute. So I'm not safe. We are not safe as a community. We are not safe as Ghanaians. I'm saying that we don't know what happened next because we've been hearing bombings all over Ukraine. At first we assumed that the attack is going to be around the Donbass area, but now it's been extended to almost all over the places. Bombings in Kyiv, bombings in Kharkiv, bombings in Odessa, bombings in Ivano-Frankivsk. So we don't know what Putin is up to, and then we are worried as a community. But we are still waiting for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, since they've been having meetings concerning this issue, and then we can proceed from there. I think we did a survey in the early stages of this tension, and I think we got around roughly, I stand to be corrected, around 1,200 plus. We are not at one place, but we live around, and we have a WhatsApp group where we relay informations. Our school is requesting that we evacuate through Romania, since Romanian border is not far away from here. So we've sent a petition to the ministry, and then we hope they grant that offer to us so that we can evacuate from there. So, I mean, we are not in one confined place, but we are together as one people. And I know that most presidents from other societies and other communities are also mobilizing students. Some students are advised, especially those in the East, are advised to move to the West, of which I am in the West. And we've seen most students around at the moment. So we are working in accordance to what the ministry would direct us to do. But for now, we are together through our WhatsApp groups. We are together as Ghanaians, and we are together through various social media platforms. Okay, so we are representing the students' body, and in every chapter we have, when you gather all the presidents from every chapter, we have one national president. So the national president and executives are working with us, chapter presidents, and I think they've relayed the situation to the embassy in Switzerland because they are in charge of Ukraine. And then they've also relayed information to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So just coming in, I think 2 or 3 hours ago, I heard they are having meetings concerning this issue. But what we are also doing on a local level is that we are encouraging and entreating our students to stay calm and stay put. We understand the situation, but then there's nothing we can do right now. All we can do is that we need to be together and fight through this dark moments in our career. Interim year, we've not how do you call it? We've not gotten any casualties or recorded any casualties. All Ghanaians are safe. I hope that we are all safe. But if we do encounter anything, we'll let you know. But for now, everyone is okay. Even though we are panicked, we are panicking, and then we are afraid. We are all safe at the moment. Okay, so on behalf of the national executives, on behalf of the presidency, on behalf of my local, we want to say that we are working hand in hand, as I said earlier on, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We understand this moment is very difficult. I'm also going through it as well. But we need to stay put and then calm our parents back home because they are much more worried. They are much more worried as we are over here. So let's keep calm. Let's keep our heads together. And I know that cool heads are going to prevail by the end of the day. Really are blowing my notifications every now and then. But I would say that mommy, daddy, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, friends, we are going to go through this together. We are going to come together as a family. We are going to get home safe, and we entrust in this current government to help us achieve that. So they should stay calm. Everything will be fine.
Meanwhile, the government of Ghana has expressed concerns about the safety of Ghanaians living in Ukraine following the crisis. In a series of tweets, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration said the government of Ghana is gravely concerned about the security and safety of our over 1,000 students and other Ghanaians in Ukraine, and has asked them to shelter in place in their homes or in government places of shelter, as we engage the authorities, our relevant diplomatic missions, and our honorary consul on further measures.
Well, there you have it. We could say a prayer or two to our Ukrainian counterparts living in Europe and our Ghanaians in Europe, as we pray and then hope that they are safe and they come home, return home safely. Well, in that same development, members of parliament have called to the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and all other ministries responsible therein to make strides to ensure the safety of all Ghanaians, especially students who are in Ukraine, and if it means evacuating them from the country. The call, which was made by the minority leader Haruna Idrisu and supported by his colleagues, has become necessary due to tensions between Russia and Ukraine. According to the lawmakers, Ghanaians in Ukraine have complained over living conditions which have become difficult as a result of imminent unrest.
I wanted to invoke Order 72 to raise a matter of urgent public importance, which is to call on the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister for Interior, Minister for Finance to work together to take urgent steps to ensure the safety of Ghanaian students in Ukraine and to work towards the immediate evacuation of Ghanaian students, those studying in Ukraine. Mr. Speaker, this we must do to assure the students and their parents that they are Ghanaian and they deserve our support. So it's a matter of urgent public importance. I'm indulging you that we raise this matter because the Minister of Finance must make money readily available to the foreign minister. We do know the number of Ghanaian students in Ukraine, quite a number studying medicine, probably some even sponsored by members of parliament. Mr. Speaker, the situation in Ukraine is very worrying. We won't go into the diplomatic matters related to Ukraine for now until we are guided what Ghana's foreign policy position would be on that matter. But given the situation of a near war, a hot war in Ukraine, and Russia not yielding to the diplomatic maneuvers of the West, particularly that led by the French President Macron and even many other heads of state. But
was the minority leader of Ghana's parliament, Dr. Haruna Idrisu, there speaking on behalf of our Ghanaians living in Ukraine as a result of the unrest there. Well, let's not stay in parliament, but rather on some other matters regarding the absence of the Domi Kwabenya member of parliament, Joasafo. Speaker Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagman has refuted news circulating that he had granted member of parliament for Domi Kwabenya, Madam Sarah Joasafo, permission to be absent from parliament. Speaking on matters of absenteeism on parliament on Thursday, February 24, 2022, the speaker iterated that he had not granted any interview anywhere, neither had he given permission to Honorable Joasafo to be absent from parliament.
Which is being circulated that I granted an interview to say that Honorable Joasafo received permission from me to absent herself from parliament on health grounds. I want it to be known by all that I have not granted any such interview anywhere. I have not said anything like that anywhere. And the votes and proceedings of the House are so loud that she is absent without permission for all those days. That is on the votes and proceedings of the House. It's not the Speaker who determines who is present and who is absent. No. The votes and proceedings will capture those are present, those are absent, and those who are absent with permission. And so please, I received a lot of calls from a number of media men on that issue. And that's why I don't want to delay in letting the world know that I have not said any such thing anywhere. Please. And tomorrow I'm going to address the issue of absentee MPs very, very clearly for everybody to understand. With this, I will say that looking at the nature of business before us, I would direct that the sitting be held outside the normal prescribed sitting hours.
So that was Ghana's Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagman there. Well, away from that, a retired appeals court judge, Justice Isaac Dose, holds the view that the 1992 Constitution does not assign deputy speakers of Parliament to specific roles. This comes on the back of the recent clash between the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagman, and his deputy, Joseph Osawusu Wise, after the latter had dismissed a motion by the minority to probe into the use of COVID-19 fund. Speaking to Reginald Addy on Adwa TV's flagship program, the AM Ghana Breakfast Show, earlier yesterday, Justice Dose cited Articles 59, for example, which differentiates between specific roles of the Vice President and a substantive President of the Republic, as such limits the Vice President from doing certain things. However, same cannot be said for the Speaker and his deputies.
It's very interesting. I have the Constitution beside me. If you look at Article 95, so 59, which creates the position of Vice President. The Vice President is assigned definite function.
Okay.
Let me read it.
Very well.
Article 95, so 59. There shall be a Vice President of Ghana who shall perform such functions as may be assigned to him by this Constitution or by the President. Definitely, the Vice President cannot act on his own. He has no independence to act outside the Constitution or without definite instruction from the President.
Right.
So, by extension, the Vice President can never cancel a decision taken by the President. But when you come to Article 96, deputy speakers, no functions have been assigned specifically to the deputy speakers. The deputy speakers are supposed to perform the functions of the speaker. The question is, to what extent can the deputy speaker act? If the speaker has given instructions, can the deputy overrule the speaker's decision? There is a lacuna or a gap in the law. If the provisions were to be exactly like the one in Article 59 regarding the president and the vice president, this issue would not have happened.
Right.
I also want to draw attention to listeners and viewers to 96 1B. It says that both. So let me talk about A first. A says that there shall be 2 deputy speakers of parliament. A, who shall be elected by members of parliament from among the members of parliament. And B, and that's the serious aspect, both of whom shall not be members of the same political parties.
Okay.
Currently, we have 2 deputy speakers who are members of the same political party. It is a total infraction of the constitution. It is unconstitutional for both deputy speakers to belong to the same political party. It is clear. So for us to have this unfortunate architecture in which both deputy speakers belong to the same party, something is definitely wrong.
Right.
And the rules must be revisited. As far as I am concerned, one of the deputy speakers is occupying an unconstitutional position. And that must be decided probably in the Supreme Court. Because this is total infraction. I don't know whether the lawyers did not read the Constitution before they agreed that both deputy speakers should belong to one party.
And there you have it. Well, away from that is some other developments. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has assured a delegation of chiefs from Commander and Ghanaians at large that the Commander Sugar Factory will be back on its feet in April this year for full operations to begin. The $35 million factory, which was expected to employ thousands of people, halted operations not long after it was inaugurated by former President John Dramani Mahama in May 2016. He gave this assurance when the delegation of chiefs from Commander paid a courtesy call to him at the Jubilee House.
After years of dormancy, President Akufo-Addo has announced that the ongoing civil works at the factory site should be completed by the end of March, paving the way for its full operationalization. A Ghanaian Indian company, Park Agrotech Ghana Limited, is the new investor who will take over the operations of the factory. However, the Ghana-based company is a subsidiary of the Skylark Group of Companies of India, one of the largest integrated farming businesses in India. A year before the pandemic, Cabinet approved Park Agrotech as the strategic investor to revive the factory after a technical audit by PricewaterhouseCoopers. It will be recalled that government in 2019 said the company was expected to inject $28 million into the factory between 2020 and 2023, with $11 million going into the sugarcane cultivation, $6 million to upgrade plant and machinery, and $11 million as working capital to bring the ailing factory back on its feet. The Commander Sugar Factory was built at a cost of $35 million from an Indian Exim Bank facility, inaugurated by then President John Dramani Mahama in May 2016, but stopped operations not long after. Accordingly, it was expected to employ 7,300 people along the value chain, boosting employment prospects in the Commander Edina Eguafo Ebrim municipality. President Akufo-Addo is optimistic that the civil works will be completed soon, hence the operationalization of the factory should commence in April 2022.
Still, some civil works are being done there.
Nyampa, by the end of March, it will be completed. And as I say, planning, no, Indian phone by whenever junior by April, production will have begun of the sugar factory. Sugar factory, about the some cassia. It didn't say 1 year, Zuko, na akwaba nyame adaroma afei de emse muamma hu se isikwan paso.
So that was the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, giving a vivid assurance on the Commander Sugar Factory getting its grounds once again. Well, you're still watching the AM News right from our studios at the John Evans Fifth Mills High Street in Accra. We're also streaming live on Facebook at Edward TV Ghana, on YouTube at Edward TV GH. Just as always, join us with your thoughts and comments. Now, in some business update, President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has said that Ghanaians should embrace themselves and expect prices of goods and services to go high on March 1, 2022. This comes after months of agitation and weeks of consultation with stakeholders in the trading community on the benchmark values reduction policy, which the government has finally concluded on a 30% discount for all goods and 10% for vehicles. According to the government, this development will take effect from March 1, 2022, allows for a win-win situation for all parties involved.
Yeah. First of all, we are very thankful to government for listening to our pleas and suspending the benchmark reversal policy. After that, we have gone for stakeholder engagement, and then we have gone there with open mind, and also being objective, putting the nation at heart. In this case, we talked through with government how to get AGI compensated, and the government itself also being compensated in terms of revenue collection, and then we, the trading community, also being compensated, so that to be a win-win situation for all of us. So we are very grateful that the government gave us a very reasonable discount, which we are very happy with. That's it. Yeah, it means that duty is going to be increased, and what is going to happen is that definitely once duty is very integral part of our costing, we should see a proportionate price increase. Definitely. No, we went to the meeting with all of them, and mind you, we are our stakeholder grouping. We are with GAFE, Food and Beverages Association, Automobile Dealers Association, Importers and Exporters Association, and all these associations together. And then AGI is on the other side. They are lobbying for the reversal of this, and they are also adequately compensated for. So it's a win-win situation for all of us.
Well, there you have it, as Ghanaians are being treated. So expect a surge in goods and services come March 1, 2022. Well, in some more business updates, the Ghana International Trade and Finance Conference, GITFIC, has released its research paper for February, making key recommendations in the attainment of economic growth on the continent. The research, led by Gerald Echowood, briefly focused on three major regional economic communities of the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, Southern African Development Community, SADC, and Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. Among its key recommendations, GITFIC states the approach to be adopted by this century cannot be mutually exclusive, but member states must go beyond the traditional preoccupation with state sovereignty towards the adoption of more collective approaches for the attainment of economic growth and development, assessing the integration's development thus far in relation to the goals and targets established at the start of the regional integration process. The report concluded that regional integration has the potential to drive more strong and fair economic growth, as well as reduce poverty and unemployment in Africa. However, experience has shown that these benefits can only be realized via the cautious utilization of chances for deeper regional integration, giving African manufacturers access to regional markets and connecting them to more complex regional value chains would boost their competitiveness and capability for advancement into more competitive global niches. When seen in this light, regional integration is critical to increasing productivity and creating long-term gains in living standards. You can get some more business updates on our website on adwanewsonline.com/business. In the world of sport, a contract manager from Legon's athletic, track and rugby field, Yao Fosu, has reiterated that the facilities for the 2023 African Games will be completed by the end of the year. Legon is one of the sites earmarked for the impending games set to be held in Ghana next year.
So the flag passes back from the host nation, the Kingdom of Morocco, into the hands of the African Union. And then it is passed on to Ghana, who will be our hosts in 4 years' time.
The Games Village, athletics track and a rugby field are the three major facilities expected to be put up for the continental event. Ofosu's team are in charge of the establishment of the fields, which he is confident of delivering. According to him, they are done with the running track, removed the existing surface, and are going to lay a new technologically advanced running track that will meet the requirements of the Africa Games. He added that they have also started with the construction of a VIP building that will have presidential VIP area, disability-friendly facilities, changing rooms, among others. Furthermore, they will also have a warm-up track where the athletes will practice before they come to the main stadium for the actual competition. Furthermore, they will also have a warm-up track where the athletes will practice before they come to the main stadium for the actual competition. The local organizing committee of the 13th African Games, together with the President of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, on December 16, 2021, launched the official logo, mascots, and websites for the upcoming event at the Grand Arena of the Accra International Conference Center. The official mascot for the 13th African Games, Accra 2023, is an eagle adorned in a symbol for the traditional authority of Ghana, and the flag is a symbol of our nationhood. The triplets were named as Oko, Akwele, and Taria respectively, to be identified for the games into the family of Ghana sports. This, according to the local organization committee, outdooring of the logo, mascots, and websites for the 13th African Games is to cement the commitment of the government and the people of Ghana to host and organize the biggest sporting event in Africa come 2023. Ghana hosts the rest of Africa for the first time after winning the bid in 2018, beating stiff competition from neighboring nations Burkina Faso and Nigeria.
Interesting. There you have it. Assurance from the contract manager on the completion of the Legon field for all athletes geared towards the All African Games. Well, on that very note, this is how far I would come to you with the AM News right from our studios at the John Evans Fifth Mills High Street in Accra. For more news, do well to log on to our website on adwanewsonline.com. Thanks for staying tuned. Stay safe. Have a good morning.